What's going on, my precious gems? Thank you for tuning in to Channel 4. I'm your host, Frosty Cones, and your coach of the Austin Aggrons, getting into our Week 1 battle against Cap and the Toronto Swablu Jays, you guys. Now, this was a pretty interesting battle for the first week. No spoilers gonna happen because we're about to get into it. Actually, all of the Pokemon that you're seeing on his team, I was kind of expecting, and I didn't know how to really prepare for them on my team. Like, I never thought that I would actually be scared of a Moltres ever in my life, but I was, and I have a good reason to, given like most of the typings on my, at least the type weaknesses on my team. So yeah, this is kind of a weird matchup, but without further ado, we're gonna get into this battle. So if you want to show your Austin Aggrons some of that love, then definitely be sure to leave a like on the video. If you're new to the crew and you want to stay tuned in to Channel 4, then definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Boop! Now, I sent out the Gimp, and I didn't really have like a decent lead. I didn't really have a good lead. I could have gone into Celesteela, but then he would have gone against me with Moltres. And I just go for the Toxic. I felt like that was really safe as he goes for the U-turn. And he goes into eliminate his Sylveon. And here I'm like, okay, well, he could either Moonblast me or the obvious Heal Bell is obvious. I'm going to switch into Ida, my Celesteela, just to kind of answer it, basically. He does go for the Heal Bell, which is kind of shitty because I know that he's going to be wanting to rotate into that a lot throughout the course of the battle. So knowing that he's going to switch back into Moltres, I go for the Leech Seed. I have some special attack investment in this Celesteela, but it's pretty like physically bulky just to take care of things like Zygarde and that Buzzwole. So I switch out into my Kita, my Mantine, and he U-turns out into his Jolteon. None of this is good. None of this is good at all. I don't like this matchup. So I'm going to switch back into the Gimp to soak up any kind of a move. It does suck that Volt Switch did that much damage. I think I was more specially defensive with this Sableye set, and it still did a pretty decent chunk. So he switches into his Sylveon, and I can't recover. Like, I just can't recover. So I'm gonna want to switch out into, I believe, Kita here. Or no, I switch it to Aura. There's Kita, and then there's Aura, and there's Ida. There's so many different similar-ish names. But I switch out into Aura to get the Aurora Veil up, and his Jolteon goes into Registeel, and I see the Toxic coming a mile away. I knew that it was either that or Iron Head, and Pyrrha is the perfect answer for that. So here I am going for the HP Fire, and it does absolutely nothing. Like, it was one of those moments where I hit it with Hidden Power, and it just smiled and laughed at me. Like, I didn't know what the fuck to do when I saw that happen, because that means that Ida can't do anything to this Krillin here, and it's a problem. So he gets his rocks up. I switch into Ida, and I just don't know what to really do. So I set up more Leech Seed, and I feel like Leech Seed was just like my go-to thing to try to get rid of my opponent's health over time. So he switches out, he U-turns out into his Registeel as I go for the Air Slash, and then he doubles back into the Moltres, and I knew, like, I had a feeling that he was going to switch back into Moltres at this point, but I just wanted to see how much a Flamethrower would do. Like, honestly, like, if he would have left Registeel in there, I was just wanting to get a Flamethrower off for knowledge purposes. But he does go into his Jolteon eventually, and Volt switches out into Lilith, this horrible, horrible monster. And again, I'm just throwing Leech Seed out. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm kind of stuck here. And for some reason, I misclicked and went for Tri-Edge instead of Kita. And I really paid the price for that because he just got one-shot by a Flamethrower. So here, I'm going to go for the Z Toxic. I know that he has Heal Bell in the back, but I feel that this, with me being somewhat bulky, would have, you know, at least let him live a U-turn. But no, he gets crit and dies. So it's okay. It's okay. We're dying out here. We are not living. We're dying. Predicting that he's going into his Regiseal, I go for the Hidden Power just to get some damage. Again, it's not doing any damage at all. This was actually a Choice Scarfed Magneton that I brought on this team, and I really wish I would have gone like Eviolite or something and had more options for going for an offensive move. So he goes for the Earthquake as I switch into Kita, expecting that, and I want to defog on the next turn to go ahead and clear out those rocks as he goes for the Toxic, and that's not going to really put us in a really good situation, and it's actually a really shitty situation to be in. So he sets his rocks back up as I go back into Pyrrha, and here I'm like, well, I could at least go for a really powerful Thunder, right? Psych, I miss and get hit by an Earthquake, and it's over. And this is clearly looking like a 6-0, and I was just like, okay, well, there's very little I could do here. I'm gonna roost up. He's gonna switch into Sylveon, and Toxic is gonna take its toll at any point anyway, so it really doesn't matter like what I do entirely at this point. And he has Heal Bell, so I could try to get a Scald Burn off. I could try to freeze someone. I could try to burn someone with Flamethrower, and it just wouldn't matter. And he has Wish on top of that. Sylveon has a lot of HP. Getting a Wish Pass from a Sylveon is just insane. It's ridiculous. So I go out into Aura as he switches into his Jolteon, and here he actually doubles out into his Krillin as I set up the Aurora Veil, and I'm thinking, well, this might be my time to see how much that Flamethrower would do as he goes for the Stealth Rocks. And let me just tell you, let me just break it down for you really quick. I just never got the chance to actually do that because I clicked Leech Seed instead. So he goes into his Jolteon and takes out Ida, and I don't know, I was just kind of like, this is an obvious loss. Like, I can't do anything to bring this back. Like, I can't kill a bulky, like especially bulky Regiseal. Not to mention, he's got the Buzzwole, he's got the specially bulky Sylveon in the back, he's got Jolteon, which I can barely touch, and it's fast as fuck. Like, there's no way I could have lost. So I just went ahead and doubled into Aura to get killed by the Stealth Rocks and give him the win. I didn't want to forfeit, but I didn't have any other way. To just gotta be like, okay, this is done. But it was a good game. It was a good match. I just did not prepare correctly for this battle whatsoever. I thought I did. I felt like I had a pretty decent team going, but yeah, that Moltres just tore a hole. It was like Moltres, I didn't even get to see Zygarde. I didn't get to see Zygarde or Buzzwole, and it was Fire Steel Fairy that just fucked us. And I don't know. I was a little salty about it, not gonna lie. Getting 6-0'd on top of that for the first week of a new league. But, I mean, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. It's alright. We'll pick it up in the next battle next week. And yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up the video here, you guys. So if you want to show your Austin Aggrons some of that love once again, then definitely be sure to leave that like on the video if you haven't already, as well as comment and subscribe if you are new to the channel. I think we are doing this every Sunday. We're uploading the battles every Sunday, so definitely be sure to expect that. I know it's kind of late, but I've been working on other videos for the week basically. So yeah, you guys will see those pretty soon. And with all that being said, I'm gonna get out of here and bounce, you guys. So thank you for tuning in to Channel 4. I'm your host, Frosty Cones, signing off. Peace.